Greetings, greetings, greetings. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Seti Saturdays. Welcome to Seti Saturdays. We thank you for tuning in. We thank you for joining us. This is our first broadcast. We're very happy to be here. Look forward to continuous broadcasts. This is a program about evolution. This is a program about development and building, about manifesting, about achieving our goals, about overcoming the circumstances and situations that occur in this world's life. We are now in a most wonderful time, and we here at Seti Inc. are very happy to be with you and living here at this time in history. This is a monumentous time for us, and we hope to be able to impart to everyone the wonderful information that is being given to us, the uploads, the downloads from spirit that we're seeing in the world that are manifesting and many, many, many things. So we want to tell you just a little bit about Seti Inc. Seti Inc. is a management consulting firm. And in short, what that means is that we are problem solvers. We help businesses from everything from business development, from developing internal tools and communication lines to leadership, coaching, etc. But in fact, what management consulting helps us to do is to ensure that we have the proper structures. We have been very successful in helping many businesses to enhance, to improve, to continue to develop, to put them in a position to grow from where they are as a enterprise to the next level. And so this is very, very important. We say here at Seti Inc. that we basically have four pillars. There are four basic pillars of our framework in terms of what we do. The first, again, being management consulting. Secondly, there is wealth creation. Wealth creation. And so, what we want to do, family, is make sure that we are taking and seeing the opportunities to gain abundance. And there are numerous ways in today's reality that we can gain abundance. And some of the things that we are bringing to our stakeholders, our clients, are some of the very things that even the elite do. You ever wondered why some of the elite, the ultra wealthy, pay very little tax or no tax at all? Well, it's not that they're doing anything wrong. At least we believe that's the case because we don't see them going to prison for tax evasion, right? However, it is obvious that if certain parties and individuals can make billions of dollars, even in a single month, and pay little to no tax, then they know something we don't. And so these are the types of things that help us to grow wealth. And there are a multitude of others. We'll talk about some of that today. But the second pillar, again, is wealth creation. The third pillar is wealth management. Many of us have heard that old adage, it's hard to make money, but it's harder to keep it. Yes, indeed, it is. I can tell you from experience. So, wealth management is critical. So, as we're working, as we're doing the things we need to do, we're in alignment with the necessities of building and growth and evolution. Then we have to be sure that we're properly managing things. Now, this can mean a number of factors that we might look at depending upon the instruments and use. But wealth management is critical. And then number four is wealth security. We know that wealth will come under attack. We know that our money from time to time will be under attack, whether it is under attack from some outside force or from such things as inflation or bad market conditions, what have you. There are a number of things that have the potentiality of attacking our wealth. And so wealth security then becomes critical in terms of our growth and development. And so in today's broadcast, I want to bring us, for many of us who may not have heard or may not have known, because it is not something being readily broadcast, but we are in now what is being called the fourth economic revolution. The fourth economic revolution. What is that? what is the fourth economic revolution? And really, what were the other three before it? So if we're in the fourth economic revolution, what were the other three? Now, we could talk about that and make that really literally the whole broadcast, but I just want to give you some cursory information to bring us up to date on where we actually are today, because it is of the greatest importance that we understand. In fact, as we are either in or venturing into this fourth economic revolution, what we need to understand and be cognizant of is that it is not all settled and done. In fact, you and I, common people every day, everywhere, are now making the determinations, in fact, as to what role we will play and how we will be affected, how our children and their children will ultimately and potentially to a high degree be affected in this emerging fourth economic revolution. And so, with each economic revolution, there is a change in the way that society operates. So, the first economic revolution, in short, was the revolution or economic revolution that took um, societies from hunter gatherer type societies into an agricultural base. This is where we see the production of food, the production of land, the usefulness of land take place in a societal way, where governments and city states start to form in and around the production of food and land and resources and husbandry and animal care and etc. This is the first economic revolution. The second economic revolution is where we see the introduction of mechanics. This is where machines begin to be utilized at a far greater pace, more than human labor, if you will. And so, in the second economic revolution, which takes place in the early or the late 1800s, early 1900s, where we begin to see machines and factory development, where people move away from the land and agricultural development into factories. Now, I want to just pause here at this because a number of things take place in the second economic revolution. And what we must understand now is during each one of these economic revolutions, there are shifts in power. There is always the movement of people, governments, institutions, we could say organizations, even that begin to determine what role and position they want to play. This is where the fighting of power takes place. There are a number of things, obviously, historically, that are taking place in each one of these revolutions. But what I want us to understand here is that the driving force to a number of historical events is economics itself. Economics itself. And so, what we see in the second economic revolution is the advent of the global slave trade against African people, for example. This becomes a global event that takes place, and it is done so specifically and truly for economic reasons. The second economic revolution. The third economic revolution has to do with the advent of technologies, really what we call the digital revolution. This is where we begin to see the advent of computers. It begins to take place roughly in the late 1940s, early 1950s. And we begin to see computers now being used more and more, both from an industrial vantage point as well as personal computers, right? We see the advent of the internet come about in this third economic revolution. And now, where we are today with the emergence of the fourth economic revolution, we are seeing now higher degrees of technical advance. So, this is where we're now seeing such things talked about as AI. We're seeing chat GPT. We're seeing blockchain. We're seeing a number of developments now in this fourth economic revolution that are taking place that are giving us the capacity to do things at a quicker pace, a greater pace. Even such things as autonomous vehicles, for example. All of these are advents of the fourth economic revolution. But what should be truly of the greatest importance and urgency for us, family, for all of those watching here today, is that the fourth economic revolution will likely bring about a total change in society. There are those who are proponents, let's say, or who are advocating in this fourth economic revolution that we, the individual persons like you and I, have no power at all, that we don't necessarily have a say so. When we hear things being talked about like social credit scores, when we're hearing things talked about like CBDC, central bank digital currency, which we'll talk about in ongoing broadcast in more depth. But central bank digital currency, for example, is the utilization of digital currency in a blockchain methodology, which potentially and very dangerously has um, the ability to be programmable and actually control our every economic reality. Every cent, every dime, every penny that we spend can be tracked, and we could be turned off and on at any potential time due upon the whims and wishes of whomever. And so we see this being pushed out. We see a number of things manifesting around this, even as I'm speaking today. In fact, in just this month, July, the Central Bank of the United States of America, also known as the Federal Reserve Bank, is now instituting a program called Fed Now. And Fed Now, an instant payment system, and there are many and multiple instant payment systems throughout the world being introduced by other central banks. And in fact, this has been going on since at least about 2017 or so. We see this now being pushed even further. Um, there are many people at play here, and mostly what we see are the global elites, the ultra wealthy. We see governments involved in this side, let's say, of the fourth economic revolution. But the fourth economic revolution also has an extremely bright side for everyday average people like you and I. It has, in fact, the capacity for us to grow into actual power, actual ability to have better control, more control over our lives. The question, family, is that what we want? Are we happy and comfortable with somebody else controlling us, telling us what to do, controlling our money? Now, you may say, oh, nobody controls my money. Well, if you're using a banking institution, if you put your money in a bank, then you're not in control of your money. The bank has custody of your funds. It's your money, but they control your money. And in fact, and some of us have experienced this, if you go to the bank, for example, and you want to make a large withdrawal, the bank may in fact tell you, no, sir, ma'am, you cannot take your money out today. You must come back in 48 hours or 72 hours or a week. You may deposit funds in a bank and they put a hold on your funds and they tell you your funds are not available for 5 business days, for example. This is because ultimately the bank has custody and control of our money. But in the fourth economic revolution, such things as blockchain, which is a game changer in fact, and in fact, the reason why the other side of the coin, those who are in power and who want further and greater controls over humanity and people at large, why they are pushing ever so more steadily toward implementing their program is because of the advent of blockchain and other technologies that are actually giving you and I the opportunity to have real power. And so at Seti Inc., and you can reach us at Seti Inc., www.tasetinc.com. Again, www.tasetinc.com. You can reach us there. We give free consultations. And what we do is a number of things. Number one, we're educators. We want to educate you about the things we're talking about today because, believe it or not, these things are already playing a role in your life. Already. Whether you know it or not, whether knew anything about what I've just spoken about today, it's already having an effect upon you. We want to help us to be in a position to have choice, to have choice. The greatest of gifts that the Most High has given us after life itself is the gift of choice. The gift of choice. We have the ability to make choices. And there are those in this society who would like to take that most powerful gift away from us. But the blessings of the Most High and the ancestors have now given us greater power to make choice, but we cannot make choices in ignorance. We cannot make choices in ignorance. So we must begin to learn. And so we give educational classes to teach us just about what all of this is, what the fourth economic revolution is, what the advent of blockchain is, why it's a game changer. And then, of course, many of us have heard about a number of the implementations being developed and produced and riding upon, if you will, the foundation of blockchain. Some of these that many of us have heard about are cryptocurrencies, for example. Others are metaverse or NFTs, non fungible tokens. All of these things are very, very important for us to know something about, and we can benefit from them. In particular, what we're teaching our clients about is DeFi or decentralized finance. It is one of the most powerful advents of economy and economic scale that has we've seen maybe in human history altogether. This is giving us the opportunity to propel ourselves forward economically at an outrageous pace, a pace that has never been seen possibly in history before. We have programs that do two things in this case. Again, as mentioned, programs that simply educate, extremely affordable and inexpensive uh, for you to do. Again, the consultation is free. www.tasetiinc.com. Just reach out to us at customer service at tasetiinc.com to schedule a free consultation. And we have programs that actually, while learning about these things, we can actually begin to benefit economically. We do this for both individuals and we do it for businesses. And so a business even can become its own bank. And some of the facilities that we manage or have, we can actually begin to help businesses gain control of their wealth, gain control of their money, and have the resources needed. Family, there is not one business that exists today that at some time or another will not or does not need capital infusion. Let me say that again. Every business, large or small, needs capital infusion. Large businesses that are, for example, publicly traded companies have infusion of cash through the use of stock. People can buy stock and own ownership. This is an infusion of capital and cash into these businesses. This is why these large scale businesses can literally not make any profits for years upon years upon years and still stay in business because they have infusions of cash. Smaller businesses, even medium sized businesses, do not have that advent normally of being a publicly traded company. But we have tools at our access today that can close the gap in terms of the number of things that take place economically. We know that such things as redlining and discrimination take place in a number of ways that prevent even the persons with the greatest of credit scores from reaching the capital they need. Again, the fourth economic revolution gives us the capacity to be successful. Family and friends, as we close out today, I want you to understand that you should be tuning in to Seti Saturdays as we're going to continue to bring you the most important information. We're going to talk about what's going on globally, what's going on in various nation states, how all of these things are impacting us, our families, in your home. I know oftentimes we say things like, I'm just concerned about me and my family. Yes, that's good. However, believe it, we're all tied together in one way or another. And there are forces now who want to consolidate power in such a way that you and I can only do what they bid and tell us to do, that our ultimate submission will belong to them. I'm saying, family, Do not allow yourself to be put in that position. Gain power today. Give us a contact at www.tasetiinc, www.tasetiinc.com, and begin to learn to empower yourself. Again, our 4 pillars: management consulting, wealth creation, wealth management, wealth security. Thank you, family. Thank you for joining us. Tune in next week, 2 p.m., 2 p.m., 2 p.m. Tune in next week for another Seti Saturday as we dig deeper into blockchain, what it actually is, and why, in fact, it is a game changer. Why can blockchain literally begin to change your life, my life, and the lives of millions of people on the planet for the betterment of each and every one of us? Thank you, family. Thank you again for joining us. My name is Brother Muhammad at TasetiInc.com. Thank you so much. Peace and power.